first to say that, I only do these videos when I really want to. And so I know that there are people out there that enjoy when I do these videos and talk about this fictional, wacky, fun, wonderful series. And so it's like, hey, it's time to come back and do some more. And this is definitely a topic that I think a lot of people have wanted in the past. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a monologue here because I want to let people, I didn't announce this. I'm going to let people show up. And, oh, crap, I didn't mean to do that. And, well, I was going to access the chat. But yeah, access the chat. I want people to talk about their opinions, thoughts, and feelings about kind of the current arc, of course, the Black Whale, and where we are in the story right now. And so with that in mind, I'm just going to quickly check that we're good. And because I'm giving people time to show up, it is. I'm not in a rush at this moment. Luckily, I have just time to chill, which I appreciate, having chill time once in a while. I'm going to make sure that I am, audible. People can hear me. I can. People can hear me. So I'm just going to hang out and talk about the idea of this video and what I aim to achieve and what I'd like to talk about. So this is a tier list that considers, in my opinion, the characters in this arc that have the most potential to impact the narrative. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that these characters are the strongest characters in terms of their Nen capabilities, right? That's not what this means. But it would basically be like, hey, I'll open up the Black Whale for purposes of this, I suppose. But the point is, oh wait, this is a French site, dude. I gotta say, Bing is the stupidest thing. Hey, Sun Eater, what's up, my brother? You know what? Actually, Sun Eater, I don't even know what your gender is, but I'm happy to see you. And I thought it was time to do this. So, people, there are people who enjoy when I talk about the series and get into it. And topics like this one open up a lot of thought. Now, this is not a necessarily strongest list, and I want to make that abundantly clear. There are characters on this list that barely know Nen at all. And welcome to the adult gone. But this arc is so challenging to do because I could just say, because this character is a god tier Nen user, that they're number one. There are far more factors involved in what I did here. There are some characters you'll be shocked that aren't on this list. I'm going to actually start while we're talking just to prep the audience. Neither Jing nor Periston are on this list. No. Why are they not on this list? We've never seen them on the Black Whale. We don't know if they have any involvement or investment in this whole Cockeen situation, and they're more likely to affect the future plot. So they're not on this list. Neither Jing nor Periston are on this list. If Jing were on the Black Whale, getting involved, moving around, he'd be where he'd be. Let's be honest. Periston on this boat? Politics? Are you kidding me? They're untouchable. You know where they are. But I can't put them on because they're meant for later. Togashi is saving them for later. They are Dark Continent, Gyro, world-ending shit. Like, they're going to be the next step. The characters on this boat doing stuff right now have done things or have the potential to do things that seem very powerful, problematic, and I tried to mix this list with characters that are just simply really talented Nen users. But I think the bonus points in the bag, if you were to be on this list as a character, the first one is intelligence. Like, and not just intelligence, but knowing about Nen has been a plot device that Togashi has used to actually set up the entire Succession War environment. I mean, Kurapika's Nen lessons were a narrative device to even the playing field. So not all of the guards and the princes themselves even knew what Nen was. They thought it was magic. But now we have a narrative device where knowledge about Nen is actually a proponent to how effective you are. So characters that have just a very advanced understanding or knowledge of Nen application, that is a huge benefit to this list. Number 2 is your actual abilities. What are they? What can you do? In this environment, I put bonus emphasis on characters that have adaptable skills. So characters that can handle situations, threats, threat mitigation, sabotage, discretion, and stealth. These are also very powerful skills in the current arc. A lot of characters would like to wait from the shadows and attack people strategically. Assassination is a big part of this story. And so characters that have those potential tools are also ones who are on this list. Social power, resources. What do you know? Who do you know? How many people do you know? How do people look at you? Publicly, politically. These are also power points that I've put on this list. Like, how do you have a following of people that think you're the greatest thing ever? That bumps you up several points because it's a political arc. So you have to have political aspiration. You have to have political influence. That's a huge part of this arc as well. Planning and long-term thinking. I mentioned intelligence before, but literally planning, strategy, potential. What are you doing? Why are you on this boat in the first place? That bumps characters up as well. And I'd also add one more, what I'd call counter Nen / Nen after death / cursing. The 3 topics here, specifically in Nen ability and power, those are massively important in the current arc. So if you have abilities that can activate in specific situations or after you yourself have been targeted by something, that gives you a counter, an answer to what your enemy is doing. And having the adaptability in this environment is key. You will see some characters on this list where those factors, the ones I've mentioned, I felt like these characters narratively have more of those things or are very proficient in some of these areas to such a degree that you can't help but place them high up on the order. So, a couple more caveats. 1, not all of the Phantom Troop are on this list. And 2, not all of the Zodiac are on this list. Because A, they're not being portrayed on the list. And actually having just done this, I realized I think I made a mistake. All right, I'm going to talk. I had a list on my phone. I did some changing, but there's one character. I'll talk about him now. I'm going to talk about him now because I want to get this out of the way. Kanzai is not on this list. Dude is being set up like the prison escape victim. Now, that doesn't mean he's fodder. That doesn't mean that he's not powerful. But there's 2 factors against Kanzai I don't like. Intelligence, his personality, and his goals and aspirations. he's mocking Beyond Netro. Like, he's like throwing junk at him. He's like, yeah, I'll read the book and you can shut the fuck up, Beyond. I don't care about who you are. The dude, like, so God, it's the biggest trope in all of storytelling. The guy guarding the prison of the dangerous convict is the first to go. I mean, Kanzai might be turned into a baseball because that's how he's been set up in the story. I'm not saying he's weak. He probably would blow all these people on floor one away. But what's his point? What's his purpose? What's he here for in the story? To be a victim of Beyond when he gets out? Basically setting it up that way. And he doesn't seem to have the desire or intellect to really plan ahead or think about, hey, what the hell am I going to be doing, 10 hours from now? What's my goal later on? He's just sitting there doing his shit. So Kanzai's not on this list. Even though he's been shown, even though he's in the manga, even though he's panel by panel, I didn't put him on here. In a general Hunter x Hunter strongest characters, he blitzes people on this list, 12 days to Sunday. He would blink and they're all defeated. But it's the arc and the writing and the narrative structure. So then there are other characters who are not on this list that I'm going to give you one as well, because a lot of people have built this character up, think that he could like end the whole war. Kaiser is not on this list. I know Kaiser is a god. I understand he's planning, he's connected, there's a hidden motive, but that's not enough for me. I need to see more of what he actually can do. Who does he actually know politically? Does he have nen abilities? I need to see these factors before I can put him on a top 20 list. I know people are going crazy about him, but I can't do it because Togashi needs to show it on panel more about what he's actually doing. So Kaiser and Kanzai, and both have Ks, which is funny, but those two characters I felt like were odd outliers in my head too. I think that depending on how Togashi takes the story, they could be much more important. But the date, April 26, 2025, after what we just saw in the story, I can't put those characters on here. But we will see what happens in the future. So, is it time to get into the list? I've been talking for about 10 minutes, I think. I'm going to give a little more time. I'll just talk a little bit more. I think as well that we are in an interesting place in the story because we had the time skip and a lot has happened off screen, and we're about to find out in the next batch what those events were, why they happened, and what they did. What we can gather is that the lockdown has taken place, that Benjamin has been infected with TSK-17. Halkenberg may or may not be residing within Benjamin's subconscious. We don't know that yet. One thing I thought of in between the last time we talked and met and did the series, there is a possibility that Benjamin, and it sounds crazy, Benjamin and Halkenberg made a deal. The deal was that Halkenberg would help elect Benjamin's child as king when Benjamin falls into unconsciousness from the TSK virus. Meanwhile, Benjamin would proclaim Halkenberg and Saraidnik as threats because they learned about Saraidnik's power. If information gets out from Theta about Saraidnik's ability, both Ben and Halk, because Saraidnik's ability is all about, twisting the narrative, literally, and stabbing you in the back. Halkenberg doesn't want that shit, even though they're friends. Maybe some truth comes out from Morena. Maybe Halkenberg and Kurapika talk about how he's captured body parts, what it does to Kurapika. There could be a narrative event where Halkenberg goes, I can't let Saraidnik win this. So if Ben and Halkenberg plotted together to infect Ben, let Halkenberg live in his subconscious, because his original body dies, right? Or he kills Balsamico. Well, the way that ability works is so complex and convoluted. But my point is, Hulkenberg could be living in the subconscious right now, letting Ben do what he has to do, lock down the floor, get the letter to the king, Nasubi, but then Hulkenberg is the one consciously, through Ben, that says, I want Benjamin's child to be king. Now, why would that maybe be a plot dynamic? Because maybe it requires the consent or approval of a sibling as well as the parent. We don't know all the details about how, like, he has to get the letter to Nasubi and declare it, but we don't know, like, we haven't seen all of the requirements to actually get the child elected. So that is a plot point I thought about since we last spoke. I think it's an interesting idea. Could Soradnik and Hulkenberg be working together? Yes, potentially. But this whole soul swapping, and Ben and Hulkenberg have literally been like this in the moment of despair, in the moment of opportunity. It to me feels like it would be more interesting if they actually secretly were working together like that. But we will see what happens. Again, I can't prove it. All right. I have rambled on long enough, I think, and we are getting into the list of top 20. Let's start big, shall we? I can't wait. Can't wait. People are going to be upset about this. People are going to be annoyed at me for putting Phaeton all the way up at 20. But hear me out. I got to talk about why not all of the Spider are on here and why Phaeton's up at 20. It's simply to do with what his point is in this story. Is he ridiculously strong? Yes, he is. We know he's past like a squadron ant level in terms of his Nen proficiency. He's also probably additionally focused in this arc after what's happened. In fact, all of the Spider, I'm actually bumping them up post-Ant-Arc in power because of narratively what's happened to them. They also want to protect Frollo and stop him from going through with this whole thing. So they're extra on edge. They're more, in line with their abilities, and they're like hyper-focused. Why is Phaeton here? Even though he's a godly Nen user. He could absolutely be a victim of the current arc or Hisoka. It's a possibility. The other issue is Pain Pack. It's very powerful. And what did I mention before? Counter abilities give characters an advantage on this list. What are you talking about? Pain Packer? Counter ability? Holy crap. Insanity. Insane. But the downside is Phaeton has to get hit, damaged, in an arc where there are curses, in an arc where there's manipulation all over the damn place. So it's not just a brute brawl. He actually has to make himself vulnerable to unleash his most powerful technique. I don't know, man. Like, there's so many factors and enemies and targets and potential fighting situations. I mean, he might kill his opponent, but he might get cursed. Good riddance, dude. Why don't you just go jump off the ship? So all that power and all that potential, it has its point, it has its purpose, but this arc is so much about counters and it's about, shifting the focus. It's about trickery. It's about misguiding people. And so that's why he's here. And that's kind of, it might shock some people to see him so low, but that's the reason. So yeah. Like, do you think this guy is getting to any prince? I mean, Pain Packer could do some significant damage, but he would have to get hit by one of the Nen beasts first. Shit. Camilla manipulates you. Soradnik curses him. I mean, more about women. Like Zoradic's men, actually, Zodiac does have a weakness, is that men tend to have a better chance against him because his Nen Beast is more about his absolutely fucked up sexual predatory desires, and he wants to victimize women. Basically, it's so fucked up. But he, like, I don't see this type of character with this ability being as useful as characters higher up on the list. So you can argue with me, you can say whatever you want, but that's what I think about it. Every 5, I'll stop and check the chat again. Number 19 is Cacho Nen Beast Cacho. Now, the whole thing with Kaiser and Melody and this whole dynamic with Fugetsu and keeping Fugetsu safe, this character has a lot of plot relevance right now. And this character is also a post-mortem character. The other thing about this character is that she's completely translucent and can go through materials and walls. And what? What an advantage. Now, Hanzo is not on this list. I'm going to spoil that because I think of the two ghost warping, shifting characters, I actually think post-mortem Nen Beast Cacho with this whole narrative has more significance. Hanzo is going to be useful. He's already been useful. But to what extent will he be useful and impactful? Frankly, the social circle around Kurapika gives me a lot of red flags about potential to die or be taken out because this arc is so dark and dangerous, and the danger and levels are only going to go up. And the way to piss off Kurapika or make him go berserk is to hurt his friends or people he trusts and values. And so, while Hanzo's a better Nen user than Cacho, of course, this is Nen Beast Cacho post-mortem. I don't know, man. And it's intentionally guarding Fugetsu. I think this Cacho would actually beat a Squadron Ant physically. I think this Cacho is scarily strong, and people don't realize that. It's a complete post-mortem Nen construct meant to protect someone dear to them. I mean, we've seen what that type of loyalty does when it comes to Nen. We've seen it. This is like a different version of what Pito did. It's more supportive and loyal and trusting, and that you can't underrate that when it's been Togashi's theme for several years now, how powerful you are after death and all these things. So if this post-mortem creature also learns Nen itself, because it seems to be fully just able to function as a human copy, can this post-mortem Nen Beast learn Nen? I mean, sure, why not? It's Nen. Why not? So if this Cacho ghost learns a Nen ability, holy shit. But the going around walls and things, as long as Fugetsu's alive, and that's another plot point, I can't put this post-mortem Nen Beast construct higher because Fugetsu is very vulnerable, and this whole plot line might actually be that Kaiser betrays all of them, and that's also been kind of hinted at and set up, and that is lingering. It's lingering on the edge here. So we could see something tragic happen like that. But you can't help but just, like, this thing could be absolutely dominant as a post-mortem Nen construct. Number 18. People are going to go crazy when I see this. Actually, right here. Hello, right here, folks. This is why he's at 18. Because we know right now what his situation is. I mean, boom, the dude is basically a goner. Unless we get some sort of medical intervention, some sort of Nen protection, I don't know. This man could simply be a very nice plot device to move us forward and time jump and get us going. I mean, shit. People are going to be, when people see the next selection, going to go nuts. I can't wait. But I really thought about this, guys. I really thought about this. This character becoming self-sacrificial for his child, his illegitimate child, is a character trait that goes against his beginning personality, where he was the best child, he was going to become king. But if that was all a public facade because he had to show strength and solidarity for his guards and had this backup plan the whole time about his child. Now, it's amazing because unless we see him use his Nen abilities that he's inherited, again, what was I saying for years, guys? I wanted this guy to use Secret Window and Predator together. Like, I wanted that to happen. It seems like it's not going to happen. Take that one off the list, man. But this is why predicting Togashi is a foolish endeavor. I'm foolish for doing this list. But I've really tried to think about, like, what could make sense right now. This is a shocking shift in priority here, because, and if he is working with Halkenberg secretly in the subconscious and all that stuff to elect his son, and this basically, Ben could be the character that stops the war. The one who said, I will prune all the diseased branches, is actually the one who stops the war before it goes any further. That would be a Togashi classic right there. Boom. You know, switch the plot. Switch the focus. We need to see what happens in the jump. We know that he's sick. And we know that he's instituted martial law. Shipwide. But we know where he is now, and that isn't good. For the character to exist and influence the plot, he has his purpose, he has his moment, he's set up now to really escalate the conflict. Ben could be the nitro gas that we inject this arc with. He could be the one that makes the pace go 3 times faster, because he was the first child, but now this could be the momentum. He could be the momentum character, the one who jolts us forward, right? Guess who else was a momentum character? Good old Kite was a momentum character. Character that sped up the arc tremendously in terms of its expectations, its suspense, its power. Benjamin could be one who pushes us forward. And we'll have to see what happens with that. But this is all simply due to where he is now. So, I mean, you tell me. Does he look like he's going to, do well in the next day or two? We shall see. Now, here's where people are going to flip their lid. You're going to love this. There she is. You know I have to put Camilla on the list. You understand why. It's kind of a little meme that I have with my, Hunter x Hunter fandom and fan base. Like when we watch the videos and stuff, I always talk about this character. I'm actually like kind of on a 50-50 split where this is Beyond's child, but it's also probably not Beyond's child. But, I've explained previously why I put more weight behind this character. That's actually a cool image of the Nen. I want to see more of this type of stuff with more of the princes. I want to see them using their Nen Beast. I want to see them having that imposing figure. This is why people put her like in trash tier, right here. This is why people put her in trash tier. But did you notice something? Her plan, the have-nots, will outlive her and potentially destroy everything. Have we thought about that? It's not going to happen, probably, but it could happen. In fact, she could unleash the have-nots after we assume that the succession war is over or that the king has been elected. Curses go off. all over the place. What the fuck are we going to do? And until she gets poisoned by TSK-17, the cat is not going to save her unless the assailant gets caught. So we know that TSK-17 could absolutely screw her up. Of course. TSK-17 is actually the strongest character on the boat. It's not on this list, but if you actually want my humble opinion, TSK-17 is the strongest narrative idea in the arc right now. So these are all character. I can't call a virus a character necessarily, but here we go with the Rose Bomb. It was the strongest thing in the story. This is TSK-17 is the strongest thing on the Black Whale. Togashi does it again. But this character has planning. Uses curses, uses Nen after death, is using oppressed people. Sounds very familiar to someone else on the boat who uses curses and segmented people. Who is, oh yeah, Beyond Netero. Narrative points to this character are showing that she, on the surface, is nonchalant and arrogant. But over the years, clearly understood that something was happening at Kakin. Something was changing. There was something going on. Like, she basically took have-nots and put them into the military school for herself. She had the privilege as the second daughter to elect her own guards for training and chose discarded trash. I don't know about you, but if I'm the second child and I'm doing that in spite of the system my brother has, and I mean, that also could have been a political fight with Nasubi and the queens and them, like who gets rights to the military and the guards. But it appears that Camilla, Dwazel maybe, were able to convince or, politically alter Unma and like the hierarchy. It's about the hierarchy and it's about the character and it's about all that stuff and what they do. And they're using skills that have very high value in the current arc. Curses after death. Huge pluses. So that's why Camilla's here. That's why I always defend this character until she is absolutely gone. We have to assume that this planning and that this plotting, there is something deeper to it. And she's a manipulator. For God's sakes, can we not see clues here that this is a possessive, controlling type of character? That there are themes about this character just going, that's mine now. That's my, that's my plan. That's my, there's just stuff here. And activating and mastering the Black Cat was intentional. And she mastered it through getting killed a bunch of times. How many times has she been killed? She knows that Zetsu will bring her back to life. Is this a Zetsu ability like Saraidnik's? Hello, parallels, people. Follow the plot. They both have Zetsu-based Nen abilities. They're both blondes. They're both blonde. There are themes that make you go, okay. Okay. Yep, Dwazel, I see you. I see you. Right? There are things that just jump out from this character and how she's portrayed and what she can do and what she has done. So that's why she's here. I will continue to defend her until she is thrown off the ship and drowns. Until that time, a lot of narrative juice, man. Machi. Machi over Phaeton? Cyclone, you're a fucking nut. Why the hell would you put Machi over Phaeton? Her abilities, man. Her abilities. One, Togashi chose not to kill her. Let's put narrative weight on this character. Two, she was shown thematically to be a Nen prodigy with Gyo as a child, and she was selected for that. I wonder why. So she was a Nen prodigy shown on panel, so Togashi chose to use her as the catalyst for their natural talent. That always puts weight on a character. And 3, she can heal. And 4, she can track. And has God-tier eyesight and perception. I don't know about you guys. In this arc, her ability to track targets, track what's going on from the distance, not having to get involved, being able to heal. She can use that, by the way, as a bargaining chip politically. Hey, I can heal you if you do a favor for me. Phaeton can't do any favors. Machi can do favors. In fact, Machi has been doing favors. Politically, she's been helping Ahsoka throughout the story. This has been a narrative point, time and time again, that Machi has a side hustle. She has a business. She can help people on the side. That's a political advantage. So she is a spider, so she's capable. We know that. I mean, people underrate her, I think, in terms of her combat prowess, because Killua, she caught his hand with her abs. I mean, that hand can rip out a human heart. It can, Killua thought he could break through a steel box at Gon's house, but it was a Nen-infused steel box. So her abs are stronger than steel. I'm not trying to compare the two, but like Netero Shin was considered harder than steel when Killua kicked it. I mean, there are little nods here and there that this character is not nearly as physically incapable as people think. And she has perception and political advantage. She has Gyo that's very advanced. She might have the best Gyo in the series. We have to see. Togashi might flesh that out, but her eyesight might be like a hawk. Like maybe she can like see injuries on people, wounds. There's things she might be able to do from far away that give her a huge advantage, and she can heal. So Machi's getting the respect in this arc that she deserves. And a lot of people say Ahsoka's going to kill her. I think that's possible, but it's probably going to happen right before Crollo and he really do square off for the final time. Or whenever the treasure room is accessed, or whenever like we're about to approach the calamity level environment, Machi might be used as a plot device to stab his Crollo right through the heart. But until that happens, Machi has the tools, the trade, and the skills that I see in the current environment to be very useful and adaptable to the situation. And the last one before I go to chat for a little bit, 15. Here we go. Bonolanov, here we go. A lot of people think this guy's toast in the next batch, that he's going to get caught by Ahsoka and killed. Yes, he very well could. I'm more interested in what this guy has already done. Now, a lot of people, again, he's just going to be a victim for Ahsoka. But in the time now between that happens or could happen, he has all of the skills to get around the ship. You can't underrate the ability to change your appearance into other mobsters, into different bodyguards. The man will knock you out in one shot. We know that for a fact. I mean, he no-diffed Lynch. And he has Jupiter, which, again, he's a bad match for Ahsoka, but I'm thinking about all of the environments and targets and instances. This guy can just get around the ship as somebody else. We're seeing it right now. That's a huge advantage. Huge. I mean, you got that. Everyone's trying to figure out who you are. You go into the bathroom, you come out as someone else. He can do that. He's Owl right now. I mean, he's back to being Owl. Togashi loves Owl. I mean, Owl might be one of his I actually think Owl is a top-tier design, like, aesthetically. I think Togashi really gets it. Like, Owl was a really cool character in his design. But, like, that is... You can't deny it. I can't help but put him this high. I know people like, he's not even on the list. Come on. He can get around wherever he wants. He's a spider. He has, top tier reaction speed. We know that for a fact. He one shots, a mafia guard or lieutenant, basically. I mean, what are people on the ship going to do? He's going to attack you as that other person. The question I have is, can he use his skills while transformed? A condition might be that he can't access his actual other Nen abilities while he's transformed, although he's already put some conditions in place which seem pretty reasonable. So can he use Jupiter? Because here's the problem. He doesn't have his holes. So I don't think he can physically use his Nen techniques without being himself. So that is a downgrade and a downside. But, come on, you got to admit that this is pretty cool. I mean, he could probably use his spear form, Cantabile. I think he can do that. But what are we talking about? He can get around the ship as anybody at any time, and he can switch in and out very quickly. Now that we know that, and he's essentially with Crollo, I mean, what are you going to do? We've already seen how capable he can be in this arc. It's crazy. So that's why he's here. Non-Ahsoka targets. Here comes the speed of sound. And I put him above Phaeton, do you see? Because of his utility, his ability to get around. Can't help it. He's also, interestingly enough, the character being used to talk about the rift between Crollo and the spider. So he might be doing some additional crazy things before he goes, if he is, in fact, one of the targets that ends up fighting the bullet. So we will see if he really is a goner. But I can't, you just can't help it with what he can do. We'll go back to the chat. What's up? Oh, yeah, we got some people here. What's up, everybody? What's up, Hart? I'm going to, again, every 5 or 6 placements, I'll come back to the chat and talk about it. I know, Hart. I felt like doing this when I have really a free day ahead of me. I have time to do this. Benjamin is such a fire character, and there is more to learn. It's interesting because he's portrayed as someone right. Yeah, very traditional and military. Yes. Right. Absolutely. So I'm glad you're here, Hart, and Sun Eater, if you're still here, I'm glad you're here. I am going to go back to Banalinov here. So again, that's our first 5. So you can see that I've mixed in some interesting characters like princes and spiders, right? So there are reasons why. This one could be very polarizing. You might think this character's toast in the next couple of chapters even. And I'll just make sure that everything's good and working. I'm going to go back to the stream and listen to it. Sure? Yes, it is. Good. All right. Now we are moving on to 14. The list will start to get interesting here. Number 14 is Zhong Lei. All right, let's Zhong Lei over the spider. What? Are you kidding me? You guys remember in the last batch that I talked about the number 3, it was brought up 50 times. There has to be a consideration that this guy is doing something. In the current situation and plot, we know that this character is on the run, has access to the special mafia tunnels, and is with Lazarus allegedly. It's a mafia connection game. This guy has literally monetary influence to convince people to do things for him. He's he is very perceptive, but he's also very open-minded. He's a nice balance in between both personality types. He has a Nen beast. We don't know if it can really attack. What is this? The snakes? Are they like snakes or just fire? Yo, that's interesting. Can you imagine if the silent majority was one of the Nen beast creations? Shit, I thought that was like the snakes for a second. It's not. But this whole thing with the coins, he's also with Karapika narratively, guys. Come on, narratively. This adds weight to the character's importance and relevance in the plot. And he's on the run. It's likely that Karapika's on the run with him. Potentially, they're also harboring Oito and Wobble. I mean, it's possible that that's happened. But this guy has one big ace up his sleeve. Onyor. Onyor is a major plot point that there's several things Onyor could or may have already done. One is that Onyor actually was involved in putting Morena into power in the first place. There's hints that there's an internal plot to use the Hyli's chaos to usurp the entire mafia itself. And Zhonglei is one of the mafia benefactors who's also been on panel more than Loserus. Loserus is not on this list. I'm going to spoil that. But he could have been if I had seen more from him narratively. I think he's absolutely like within the 25 mark. But I can't, in good conscience, put Loserus higher. He does have a trap-based Nen ability, is his Nen Beast. That's very powerful. But of the two, I'm putting Zhonglei up here because there's way too much potential left to be explored with this guy. This right here, guys, is what I'm talking about. This, just be patient. Look at and he's on the phone. Guys, if you don't know mafia movies or stories, like you gotta get with it, because they make phone calls, they make deals, they're doing it constantly. What if Onyor hired Hisoka and got him onto the first floor? Are you kidding me? Like, come on. Hisoka could be helping Zhonglei / Karapika indirectly because of Onyor's, business and dealing. Like, come on. There is so much here that could be explored. What if all three mobs end up going behind Zhonglei as the official figure? Come on. You can't, like, you let the Haley people go crazy. You let the fake Morena die. But at the end of the day, they all funnel towards Zhonglei because he has the coins and he has the prosperity and he can be the one that gives the future they want. There's all this narrative, like, potential. Does Togashi use it or does he just get rid of it? Just because he's on the run now, I'm not actually as convinced that he's in immediate danger right now. I think Loserus of the two is actually more in danger. I'd put more weight on Zhonglei getting through this issue than Loserus. Loserus might get some things off, but ultimately, I think this character has more potential because of how he's been structured narratively with all his connections with Onyor and all of that. So, I think that explains why Zhonglei is here. And the number 3 being referenced. Come on, you got to give some bonus points to that. Number 13. Here she is. Some people may have said, what? This is top 10. What are you talking about? How can Morena not be higher? There are reasons. The first reason is that this character specifically, the fake Morena, is self-sacrificial. She is more than okay with being destroyed from this whole thing and letting the Nen she's created and this ability fester. That is ridiculously strong. That is ridiculously powerful. We know that contagion is one of the craziest things ever. But there's another factor that goes a little deeper into why this character might not actually be as impactful as we think. Because it's Togashi. For all the destruction, chaos, and death that this fake Morena has, the card game with Borkson. By the way, the white versus black, again, I was talking about the yin-yang symbolism here in the last reaction. I fucking love it. What if this fake Morena finds new faith and trust in helping people again? I know, it's like, oh, the bad guy becomes good. No, the bad guy's doing some bad shit right now. Bad things are happening. But at the end of the day, does this actually just end up being a martyr? Does Borkson become the force that we fear? Or do these two characters just settle down and stop all this nonsense? Do these characters end up helping people? What happened to Marilyn? What happened? This is the card game character. This is the character with all of the original intention and victimnality. Being a victim. This character was victimized to such a terrible degree, went through the most heinous, tragic past. But to the point I'm trying to make, Borkson is conflicted and also shows us how being brought up differently in Kakin gives you a different perspective on everything. Morena never got to live that. She never got to learn about that. She never got to appreciate some of the good things about their country. As terrible, as horrible as Kakin is, it's one of the worst fictional cultures and lands I've seen in a long time in media. It's absolutely terrible. It's like ancient China on steroids. It is, you're born the wrong way, you're gone. Human trash, Meteor City, the human trafficking, all of this stuff. Does Krollo just use her as a proxy and get, Contagion as an ability? This whole thing, yes. A lot of people think this is a connection. A lot of people think this is here. Morena is also, again, the fake Morena is thought of to be a vehicle for revolution because of what Wang said. We might have to use our Joker. That's a crazy, and the way it's said is almost like, Morena, your job, your role, your entire purpose for being, it might happen sooner than we expect. We might have to use our Joker. There is a lot there that hints at a sacrifice, or there's going to be an event where this grandiose, this character that wants to see the world burn actually burns instead, but maybe in a final act of sympathy, maybe, just maybe, under that scar, she sheds a tear of kindness. It's one of the most incredible characters he's crafted in a while. I mean, this is the type of Togashi classic that I think the payoff with this character is going to be astronomical. But I can't put her higher on this list because I think there are other factors and plans around her purpose and being where they will go beyond her. And while she's here and while she's active now, she's going to be one of the best characters Togashi's ever crafted. And I can't wait to see more. I don't think she's a combative type Nen user. I don't know if she has a ton of skill with that sort of Nen, but she's absolutely gifted with Nen. There's no doubt about that. And she has massive political power. So I put her at 13 because of that. But it's one of Togashi's best characters, I think, ever. And we still have more to go. We still have more to see. More Morena, more hype, more amazingness, more writing potential. I mean, you can see Togashi flexing his writing muscles when he writes about this character. That's why it's so cool to explore the ideas and themes here. So that's why Morena's here. Number 12. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't think he's quite top 10 when everything is said and done, but he's above even Morena. I know people are like, what? Are we not reading the same story? Like, what has this guy done? In like a week, this guy has completely thrown the damn war on its head. This guy got to Benjamin directly. This guy, he has followers. He can grow followers in 5 seconds. Just by like saying a sentence, they all of a sudden start to follow his lead. We saw it in the courtroom. He gained followers just like that. He has a fucking guaranteed attack. No defense can stop it. His intellect, his motivation, his perception, the fact that he's Unma's child. What the fuck are we talking about? This character is insane. He's also a genius and a parallel to Saraynik from the university. We see some similarities there. Guys, the blonde children are fucking scary. I'm just like, the blonde children of this family are Super Saiyans. Watch out. Watch out. Benjamin got poisoned, but he was in really good shape before. But now this character has plot juice like to 1,000,000. He had access to the most powerful thing on the boat, TSK-17. Like, holy crap. Holy crap. This scene made me crazy because he wasn't there for that long. Look at how many people are with him. What the fuck? If he gets back to it, if he gets back in form, you know, if Leoriel and Cheadle and other, like, if they like heal his original body somehow or stop the decay, like whatever it is, if Falkenberg explains, I just need my original body to be stable. Whatever the hell that means. Like, his original body is dead or in a comatose state. You know, the whole thing with TSK-17 and with Benjamin and the illness, it's like, there's just a lot there where it's crazy. But this character, what the hell, man? What the hell? We know what he's done. We've seen it. Like, wow. Like, he's jumping bodies. He's playing games. He's taking advantage. He's getting by defenses. He's the one who confronted Nasubi, for goodness sakes. I mean, he's pushed the boundaries of this arc. He's done things we didn't think were going to happen. And here he is at number 12. And I think he earns it. I don't think he's quite top 10, but I am, just because he's on the run. Again, my two theories are: one, he's actually in Ben's subconscious to help elect the child. And frankly, he also might get one of those arrows off to send him back where he needs to go before Ben really dies. Number two, he actually is working with Saraynik, which brings us to Saraynik. This show, oh, people are going to be angry at this one. People are going to be mad. You have every right to be mad that he's not top 10. You have every right. You have every right to hate me, to vilify me, to say I'm an idiot. You have every right to say it. Even when I made this list, I thought, really? Am I really going there? When you start to see the top 10, you might see where I'm going with my prioritization a little bit. It simply comes down to level of mastery and skill. Right now, he's at 11. This is a guy who never knew Nen. Him and Halkenberg are almost in the top 10, and they've never learned Nen before. What? I mean, this guy's ability to avoid catastrophe, to rewrite the rules, and to trick people are top tier. He's King Crimson in a new form. You know, he's The idea of this character is I control my fate and destiny. You don't. You abide by my rules. I do not abide by yours. He's been hinted at being Beyond's child. He's been hinted at having Netero freaking blood. What is this guy going to become in just another week? But we're on hiatus. We are right now in the story told that this guy's on the run, or that he's being labeled as the one who enacted this biological plot to poison the First Prince and spread TSK-17. My hunch, again, is either that was a play by Halkenberg to join up with Sereidnik, or it was a play by Sereidnik and Ben to compromise Sereidnik. I don't know which one it is yet. If Sereidnik got poisoned with TSK-17 in the parallel future, or he knew about the radius of TSK-17, then he would get the hell out of there. He'd run away and just keep running. 10 seconds in the future, he would never have actually contracted the virus. There's things where, again, Theta is a very powerful plot point here. Because if she has the intel about what this guy can do and shares it, that compromises him. Is Theta still alive? Is Theta being useful to someone else or getting information out? Imagine if Theta's like, passing information out, very secretly, like passing notes and stuff. Like, there's things where Theta actually becomes a weakness for Sereidnik. A lot of people don't talk about that. But in this arc, someone who's seen and experienced, who's not dead yet to our knowledge, why do you think in the mob shows they always try to kill the people who know about their plot if there's any sort of compromise? Because they don't want them to say anything. Theta is the character that typically the mob gets rid of in these movies. Like, you know too much, get out of here. But she might actually be the weakness of Sereidnik all along. We have to see. But guys, come on. I don't really have to go on too long about this one. You know why he's almost top 10, even though he's only known Nen for like a week. What are we talking about? This character's insane. I just give him one more week. I just need to see one more week, and boop, he goes up the list. So Sereidnik is 11. I will stop there and check comments again. People are going to be... Yo, Hart, Zhonglei is the GOAT. Yep. He did. He's very sly. He's very shrewd. Zhonglei is... Yes, he is. Sun Eater, Hart, guys, I said number 3 in the last batch, but I was more convinced now than ever when I saw those hits. Number 3. When I saw that stuff, I was very convinced that we had potential on our hands, right? Sun Eater, this list is very temporary, extremely temporary, but we're on hiatus and we had a time jump. So we might be able to use these placements in a rough sense as to what could be valuable information up to the last chapter. So I thought it was a good time to talk about this. I know people have wanted me to talk about this list before, but now seems like the perfect time to talk about it. Yes, but again, the list will change, and some of these characters will probably go the way of the dodo. But yeah, absolutely. So that's a nice break. I am now going to enter the top 10. But before I do that, I think I'm going to get another beverage. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, even less, because we're entering the top 10. Okay. All right. We're entering the top 10, folks. This, you might be able to tell some of the characters that are going to be on here. I felt like the bottom 10 were more interesting to list. There are some ones here, though, that are potentially controversial. There's one on here in particular I know is going to frustrate some people because I know what those people like. I know what that character means to people. But I think I have a reasoning that makes sense in my head. So I am going to my audio bit rate. Dude, I need new internet. I'm telling you, I don't have bit rate. Let's start though. And I think my audio should be okay, but I will just make sure. We're good. Yeah, I can't not put Biscuit at 10 plays. Come on, man. Like, a lot of people would say that this character has no like combat like effectiveness, I guess is the word. Like, she doesn't have very dynamic skills. She's really just a puncher, kicker, and martial artist. Guys, she's probably in the top 3. Well, okay, no. I would put her in the top 5 most knowledgeable Nen masters on the boat. There is just added value to being a Nen master of her caliber. We are talking about a Nen master that teaches the hunter exam Nen teachers. She's in her 50s, like prime Nen mastery age. But here's where Biscuit gets a little nutty. All right. She gave We're Gay a Woody. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She has a rejuvenation skill. Now, guys, I know a lot of people think Cookie-chan is a stupid ability. Cookie-chan is incredibly potent when efficiency is the name of the game. Let me just explain to you what she could be doing right now with Maryam's group. She could be rejuvenating all of the guards, all of the hunters in that room, so they don't even have to sleep. She can remove the need for rest and keep the team at their highest possible mental acuity and making sure that the group works at 100% efficiency at all hours of the day. Guys, you have to understand how powerful the ability to be active, be alert, be vigilant, being effective as a team, as a unit. And then it's Biscuit. She's one-shotting like the people I just talked about. She's one-shotting all of them. It's Biscuit. So you can't tell me that, oh yeah, Biscuit, her punches won't do anything in this arc. She knows about Nen too. She knows about the dangers of Nen. She knows about curses. She knows about after death. She knows about everything. She knows to be more on alert in this arc because she's a Nen master. She's also listening on intel and figuring out, dude, that level of perception and knowledge is insane. And she's connected with Kurapika and everyone else. And I mean, come on. You're not walking up to this character and going, yeah, I'm fine. She can keep the team at the highest possible proficiency. She also actually, in that realm, like Bill, has an ability that can aid towards Nen improvement and growth rates. And growth rates are important when we're talking about the arc because we've seen that Nen growth and proficiency are very potent in this arc and important. the rate of growth and performance has been a keystone of this arc. How fast you mature, evolve, learn, grow. So her ability actually perfectly follows in that line of thinking. Rejuvenation at an incredible rate. You train Nen with me in the Nen lesson, you won't have to take, like, just like what they did. Look at how fast Gon and Killua grew because of her involvement. She can now do that on the boat. How powerful is that? Think about the power that that brings. Not just how powerful she is. She's the ultimate Nen master and trainer that can speed up your training by like 100 times. It's like, that is literally what this arc is about. Luckily, she's not evil, and luckily she's not with Saraidnik, because you imagine if Saraidnik had her, holy cow. Dude, if Biscuit wanted to take over the world, she would just give Saraidnik Cookie-chan. Holy shit, man. But this is she had to be top 10. I just don't put her higher because of plot relevance. I don't see her really being the one that influences the Kakeen situation. But in the environment and situation, like, what the fuck? Ultra powerful, ultra useful. What are you going to do? Number 9. Here we go. Kurapika is number 9. Yes, he is. This bad mother is number 9. But there are 8 more positions above Kurapika. What? Current Kurapika is at number 9. We know that this guy has broken hacks with Emperor Time. The conflict is, does he get compromised while using it? We saw that in the wrong situation, Kurapika is actually not that. But in Emperor Time, with the right knowledge, with the right preparation, and with the right situation, the MC of this arc, and frankly of the brand Hunter x Hunter itself, will dominate everybody above him. This character is a master level Nen user in this mode and is shaving off elements of his life and is politically so savvy and so intelligent and so able to read the environment and how to take advantage. Look what he did with the Nen lessons. He stopped all of the threats in their tracks with the Nen. Like, he basically halted all of the aggression. That's the point. He did that in just a couple chapters. He basically evened the playing field. He has the ability to do that. He's the main character, and he's protecting Wobble, and like the character interaction between him and Oito and Wobble is extremely important for his character. There's people that write these two in an affair, like they're gonna fall in love. Like they might adopt little Oito as his daughter. I mean Wobble, excuse me, and marry Oito. There's another side that says he just succumbs to this and dies. He is riding the fine line between destruction and paradise. It's just every time he's on panel, you think about what's going on in his mind. A lot of times he's just, monologuing about the situation, talking, but unless he does that, he's screwed. He's riding a fine, thin line between self-destruction and finding a better life for himself. And the other thing about this character that we have to understand is that he could have an adult Gon moment. Again, like, what are we talking about, folks? What the hell are we talking about? This guy could open Super Emperor Kurapika. We're talking about an arc with kings And here comes the Emperor. Like, I've always talked about him seeing the future with his eyes because of the he's shaving years off his life. But what if he also can then see the future years themselves? Like, there's ways where we can get into time stuff with him. Emperor Time. What? Steel Chain. Hyper useful. Steel Chain, I've said it before, he could take the Nen ability of Wobble and use it as a weapon, because ultimately that Nen Beast and ability has to manifest and become a part of this arc. Holy shit. He could use the plot-defining weapon in his favor. Whatever it ends up being. Halkenberg's arrow. I don't know. Like, we don't know the limits. Like, can he use these types of abilities to their full extent? Whatever he ends up using, though, will be pivotal to the arc. There's also people that say he and Krollo are teaming up to take out Saradnik. It's frankly not off the table. There are, come on, it's the main character. We can't, and he has the potential to snap, and that's why, like, again, Super Emperor Palpatine Karapika. Like, what if he just, his entire eyes become red, and like they're warped, and like it's a Sharingan, but like he sees space and time. I don't know, like what the fuck is he gonna do? He's gonna unleash a Rinnegan, or like, there are all these narrative plots here. He has the narrative juice. He has the Nen abilities. He's the main character. He still could unleash a terrifying power. And if we connect him to the past with the human trafficking and with the Kurta clan and with all the, like, are the Kurta clan a segmented group of Kakin itself? What if they were nomads who escaped Kakin? What if Karapika actually has Kakin ancestry? What? Think about the possibilities where this arc can go. You got to think bigger. Think about the world. Think about what the history could actually be. Are the Kurta exiled Kakin residents? Who knows? But it's Karapika, guys. He's here. Are we getting Super Emperor Karapika? Are we getting, like, him snapping Steel Chain, his intelligence, his ability to perceive and understand? You can't deny how effective Karapika is in this arc. It's insane. But he's at 9. Now, number 8 is going to get into some very interesting territory. And I'm going to do my best to explain why this character is here. Here he is. I put Nasubi at 8. Look at this. Guys, it's the king of Kakin. It's the man who won the last war. It's the guy who has all the intel and insider knowledge. He knows exactly what's about to go down. He knows what the whole point of this voyage is. Is he working in cahoots with Beyond to unleash a terrible power against the world? Does he have possession of a dark calamity being like Breon or Hellbell? Is he just there to let the next king happen? We don't actually know. But guys, it's the king of Kakin. Like, come on, the guy. Not only did the guy win the last war and know how to do it, but he's orchestrated this voyage with Beyond and all the involvement. Geopolitically, this is unbelievably powerful. He is rewriting the rule book on his national status as Kakin status as a country. He is also using his empire to form the new civilization of humanity. What the fuck are we talking about? This is insanity. Now, he could just be a sacrificial lamb and go into that middle coffin and end the war. But until that happens, his plot relevance is absolutely astronomical. What if he prevents the whole Benjamin plot from happening? What if he denies it? What if he is involved in some of the curses that Beyond is like, what the hell could he be doing? You can't not put this guy here. I mean, and because right now, again, Karapika and the whole like conflict in Scarlet Eye, this guy has the current advantage. Until things settle, it's Nasubi's game. Beyond could be the subplot. The uprising from the mob could all just be a ruse. It all could just be to unleash a calamity upon the world. He could be that, destructive, that capable to unleash an omen upon mankind. And he's been through it before. He's the Squid Games guy. Like, he's been through the Squid Games before. So he knows all of the ins and outs and has all of the knowledge and resources. And likely planned for basically everything that's about to transpire with the treasure room and all this. I mean, come on. So there he is. There he is. I know some people may not have expected this as a top 10, but I can't help but put him here. All right. Number 7. 7, 6, and 5 are fairly interchangeable. I'm actually going to show them all now, but then I'll talk about them individually. Mizai Storm, Seiyu, Bodabai, the Zodiac. I have put the 3 Zodiac characters here that we have seen or have learned about in the plot as being the most integral to it. I have put frankly, the one we've seen the most of, Mizai Storm, I've put him here because he seems like a pacifist. I don't think he's necessarily moving the plot or taking, charge of the situation. But in terms of being in this situation and his inability to interrogate people, he's broken as shit. He's also a Zodiac. I mean, the guy, anyone who threatens this guy gets put in jail. Is basically how it works. And the only way to get out, you better talk to me about what you know, buddy. It's a very classic cutthroat, interrogation guy. He's going to interrogate people and learn about what he needs to learn about. I mean, his involvement in the association. He just knows about what they need to do. He's prepared at all times. Does he really ever seem like he gets caught off guard? I don't see it. He's extremely adaptable in the environment. He's a Zodiac, so he's also trained with Netero, and he's one of those guys. But his plot relevance puts him up here. I just think his personality is a little bit more of a pacifist. I think he's more about preventing things from getting out of hand versus causing the carnage itself. But in the current arc, he can stop anybody in their tracks, and he can halt all of the violence, and he can basically say, no more. You're not going any further. He can deploy strategies. He can deploy hunters. He can work with the Kaki military. He's extremely knowledgeable about operational efficiency. He knows how to manage people. He's very good at all this stuff. He's basically a detective in a lot of ways. And so because of that, I can't not put him here. I want to see more of what he will actually do in this arc, but he's been portrayed as a very capable, intelligent, and adaptable character. And you can't deny that. Um, I mean, the characters I listed before on floor 1 in that vacuum are crazy, but this guy is crazy everywhere. Everywhere. Also, because his Nen technique doesn't necessarily attack or damage someone, like he hard counters Camilla. He really hard counters everybody. So Rydnik, but can he trap the Nen Beast? Probably. He's probably strong enough to trap the Nen. Like there's Zodiac. I don't downplay these guys. I actually really do think these characters are quite strong and capable. But again, I just don't see him being the aggressor as much as the pacifist, which is why he's 7. Seiyu, fuck. Opposite end. I see him being the one who starts the goddamn problem. We know that he is. We know that he's going to have a conflict. We know that he is a combative type Nen user and has a disabling type Nen power, which actually in practice is absolutely ridiculous. If Seiyu really is a top tier combative Nen user, then his ability on top of that makes him extremely dangerous. Imagine, let's just put it this way. Imagine if Rydnik got his senses taken away. Well, yeah, he can see. Well, maybe he wouldn't be able to see. Would the vision cloud mental images? Or would it only cloud his actual vision? That's a good question. But like, he has the ability to remove senses. I mean, that's crazy. He's based on Japanese mythology, well, actually Chinese mythology, Sun Wukong, right? But he's the one who's being targeted as an antagonist. Karapik, it was one of the whole reasons why this plot came about. He's going to be in cahoots with Beyond. He's going to be one of Karapika's main focal points. Like, he's going to cause a problem. And he's that type of dude. He's also able to back up his kind of antagonistic tendencies here. He has the power pole, for God's sakes. I mean, if he's that talented with the power pole and sensory removal, this guy is just going to be running around without any, resistance. What's Halkenberg going to do without his vision? Nothing. With it, if Halkenberg gets all of his senses removed, he's useless. You've got to, this guy is crazy. Given where he is in the plot and his abilities, you got to put him up this high. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Even though I haven't visually seen the feats, I know narratively he's being positioned. That's why Kansai isn't here. And I mentioned that earlier. This guy is a combatant with the plot relevance and the motivations behind it, where I see him being a force against the narrative, something that really shifts the plot. Some people may say he's just going to get targeted by Karapika and stopped. I don't know. I think he's actually more capable than Karapika right now. Until Karapika enters an emotional state where he becomes an absolute god. But until that happens, I put Seiyu above him. And Bodabai, purely on portrayal. I mean, I don't have much to go on with this other than previously it's been stated that he is basically the eldest Zodiac with the most experience, and that puts him in a tier of his own, potentially, beside Netero. The guy clearly has skill. He's a terrorist hunter. You need to be very talented to do that, and to be world-renowned in a Zodiac. This guy has the juice, the narrative plots, all the build-up. We just haven't seen him truly in action. But all the feats tell us that he is. I mean, all the plot points tell us that he is here, regardless of feats, right? All of the narrative hints are that this guy is that type of dude. I think he is absolutely jiving with someone like Silva Zoldyck. I think he's absolutely in that realm. I don't think that's far-fetched at all. Zeno and Silva, he's a counterpart to them. I'm not shocked to say that. But we just need to see more. I'm very eager to see more of this guy and what he actually can do. Being a terrorist hunter also means he's extremely gifted intellectually. He's a very effective strategist, and having strategic tendencies and mindset is super important in this arc. You have to be able to read the situation and figure out ways out of different circumstances, like negotiation, all this stuff. He's absolutely a master at that, just from what we've been told. We just have to see more of it. So, Botabai does enter the top 5, but I will stop there. I'll check the chat, and then we're about to get into some very interesting ones. Yep. Okay, yeah. So you guys left some comments. Thank you for that. And here's the thing as well. Again, with like the Zodiacs, it's always like they've been told to us. We've heard that they're that type of character. Like, we know about what he can do. Botabai, we don't, but Botabai has extra experience, and he's like his profession goes into what type of person and master he is, and that adds weight to it as well. But I think these are interesting placements. The list might completely change. Yep. So, Mr. President, I don't feel like Pika would have that kind of insanity to give up his life. Well, Mr. President, I hate to tell you, but the man has been giving up years of his life already. He is self-destructive. To what degree, though? If he traded 10 years of his life for a power boost, he'd probably do it. It's about how he does it. It's the trade-off and benefit. If Kurapika says, give me a power boost, give me 10 hours of Emperor time for 10 years of my life, in one moment where he is that powerful for 10 hours, he'll do it. He would do it. If Woble's life was on the line, or like Melody's life was on the line, or something happened to one of those characters, like Izanavi, that's another character I'll mention quickly. Izanavi's not on this list because I feel like Izanavi could absolutely be victim food. I think Izanavi's a very talented Nen user. We have to see it, but narratively, he's positioned to be emotional food for Kurapika. So I didn't put him on the list. I don't think he's too far out of the 20 range. But see my point? Like, I think Kurapika is self-destructive. We've seen it. He made an Nen ability already draining his life. So he could dive into decades of life removal. Like, it's possible if the narrative situation goes there. But that's just my opinion. We have to go again. It's all analysis and theory and what could happen. We don't know for sure, but it is what it is at the end of the day. All right. I am entering into the 4-to-1 range here. Brace yourselves for number 4. Brace yourselves. Some people are going to be very angry about this pick. Oh, I'm sorry. I know there are Crollo fans. I know this man is the most vile character, the most beloved character in the entire verse. He's the strongest character that's ever existed in fiction. I know people are out there that actually say this I've gone through the community. I've heard videos about it. Guys, this character is ridiculous. I mean, did you see my reaction about him? This guy is about to take over the fucking plot, man. This guy's about to go to the treasure room. He told us about the succession war and how it works. Like, what the fuck? We have the human trafficking backstory Morena's involvement, so the have-nots, and now we have Meteor City. Crollo is the top of that, like that whole idea. He beat Hisoka in Heaven's Arena. He made a perfect match, a perfect set of abilities, and he took advantage. The intellect, the planning, the methodicism of this character, this guy, he goes through meticulously, making sure that he is prepared for victory. But wait a minute. He said something in the recent batch. He said, I'm not ready yet to fight Hisoka. I didn't say that. I did not say that. Those words were not mine. They are from Togashi Sensei himself. I am not ready to fight Hisoka. I must steal a national treasure and upgrade Skill Hunter in order to put down the clown for good. I didn't say this. I didn't say it. Togashi said it. Why is this compelling? Why is this great writing? Because this villain does not just jump in like a moron to get slaughtered. And he's intelligent enough to know that he needs to plan a little bit more. So the ability for him to prepare for a situation, to understand how strong he actually is, to assess his opponent and the environment. Wow. He's using the Finder phone, love phone, whatever thing right now. He could be talking to Morena. He could be talking to Nasubi. He could be talking to Beyond. He could be talking to Kurapika. I mean, I guess that's 5 characters, right? That all theoretically, we've all theorized he could be trying to call. He could be trying to call Seiyu. He could be trying to call Togashi. I mean, what the fuck? This character is about to cause a pandemonium. Or he isn't. Because Togashi might blue ball us at the very end, and we don't actually steal the 3 treasures. I know that 3 treasures, guys, the Lotus Anchorite is one of the hypest things of this arc. That's why I went berserk when I read it. Guys, the original King of Kakin's corpse pretty much confirmed it's him. If not, it's a vessel that it controls the succession war. This is an after-death Nen that has existed for centuries. Guys, I got to tell you something. After-death Nen that takes Nen from every ceremony and instills the set of rules and conditions and supplies the Nen beasts is Royal Guard. Like, it's that level of power. It's that strong. I think if the Lotus Anchorite, let's just turn it into a character, it's like unleashing, Yuppie or Pito or like to the world. It's like unleashing a Royal Guard ant in terms of how much Nen and power this thing. I'm not saying Meruem. I think nothing is going to, but a Royal Guard, yes. I think this Kakin ritual vessel thing is entering Royal Guard status. Prime Netero status. That's what we're talking about here. That's the power that Crollo is trying to capture. Narratively, he says, I need to achieve that to kill Hisoka for good. I didn't write that. Togashi wrote that. And I'm talking about Crollo as of right now. Have we stolen the treasures yet? No, we have not stolen the treasures yet. They are in front of us. They are there, but we have not gotten them yet. And this is Togashi, guys. This is Blue Ball Master Togashi. This is the guy who says, hey, that big fight, it's canceled. Guys, Crollo's incredible. Every time the artwork for this guy, if I can actually find it, hold on. Let's actually find it. I mean, if I can find this artwork again, can we find it? Oh, come on! This character is incredible. Dude. But then, one extra point. He's willing to die for this. He's ready for his own demise. He's ready for it. So he's ready to go all out to get the treasures, to do all this and destroy himself. The spider will survive. Have you seen a Crollo like this before? The Crollo in Heaven's Arena was ready to kill Hisoka, and he did. But he didn't finish the job enough. The zombie clown came back. Togashi used that as a Nen after death narrative point situation that Crollo didn't take enough steps to really rid himself of Hisoka's maniacal personality. And now we have this Crollo. That ego blow, and the loss of his comrades, now gives us a character like this. This Crollo is my favorite Crollo ever. This Crollo is, I am so hyped to watch this character go through the ship. And like, if you pull out a cell phone, I get really excited because what is he going to do? All the motivation is there. Now we know this guy, he's also at odds with the spider. They're like, we got to stop Crollo before he does his, grandiose evil thing. We got to stop him. I can't wait. If he gets the treasures, he might be a phenom of all time, adult Gon level. Fuck. He's number one, no doubt about it, but we haven't gotten the treasures yet. We have to get them first, and it's Togashi. So it's all, yeah, we could get that Crollo, but we're not there yet. We need to get there. This brings us to number 3. There are some angry people right now. They're angry. They're mad. They're so pissed that I put Illumi in bronze tier over Kroll. People are getting mad. Guys, this guy at one point was my top character. When he was first introduced, and when he's gone. Do I have to explain it? I will explain it, but for the veteran fans, for those of you know why he's here. You understand why he's here. You get it, right? Manipulation master in a political thriller. Are you kidding me? This guy can take over all the mobs. This guy can take over all of the bodyguards. This guy can take over the entire Kakin army. He can lock down the fleet. He can do anything with his manipulation. He can change his appearance so that you don't know who he is. He can be someone else. He can sneak around because he's a master assassin. He can't be poisoned. He can't be electrocuted. He literally is bred for this arc. He's in an enclosed environment, and he could get 10,000 puppets to do whatever he wants. Is he controlling Morena right now? Is he controlling Wang? Is he controlling the mob arc himself? Think about that. Morena's hair is down. You don't see if there are needles in there. She's not. I'm putting out hypothetical. This character can control complete plot points of the story with a fucking needle. Some needles are persuasive manipulation. Togashi explored that idea previously about the types of manipulation. He mastered all of them. We're talking about pure mental manipulation here. In the current arc, this character can control massive plot drivers himself. Getting around the ship secretly, manipulating people through appearance and ability, and being a master assassin who can't be poisoned traditionally. Can he survive TSK-17? That's questionable. That's a militarized grade virus. I really do think that TSK-17 is beyond someone like even Zoldic's immunity. But come on, guys. It's Illumi in a closed boat with thousands of targets, with manipulation opportunities left, right, and center. Excuse me. Can avoid being assassinated more than other characters, can change his appearance more than other characters. What the fuck are we talking about? And because of his plot ties to Ahsoka, I still think it's an inside job. Duh. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. He's also very good at negotiating because his family negotiates with the mob all the time. I mean, he's in that underworld setting. So this guy already has, outside of all the actual ability, this guy has the knowledge and temperament to work in the underworld and work with these shady people. And you can't deny this fact that his manipulation is a god-tier status ability in this arc, his experience and everything else. People downplay him because Gon broke his arm. Guys, the moment this guy activates his 10, he's a top-tier hunter. And then his needle shots, I mean, he's taking over hundreds of people within minutes. Optics are everything. Knowledge, understanding, control, influence, all of that weighted so heavily with this guy that I can't help it. Again, could Morena be slightly manipulated by him right now? Like, he could take a character like that and benefit from all of those things because he's actually in control of that character. He's shockingly broken in this arc. I finally get to talk about this character in a tier list setting like this because, like, he gets underrated, I feel, by a lot of people. And it's like, and he's killed. Let's put Killua's brother. It's a plot point. He's tied to the MCs of the story. Like, come on. There's insane potential here. Insane. But let's move on. Take a swig before the next one. You may have guessed who number 2 is. You may have guessed who number 2 is. Surprise! This Ahsoka is a god. All right, listen. This Ahsoka is in a casino playing games. He's getting cock-blocked by the Succession War. But it's not just that. This is post-revival Ahsoka with the ability to change his appearance. Now, before I go further, what's interesting is Banalinov used the downward hair appearance because that's how Ahsoka has been wearing his hair. So he did that to match what Ahsoka is going for here. Guys, Frollo said it himself. I didn't say it. I need to gather the national treasures of Kakin to put this piece of shit down for good. He said that. I didn't say it. Togashi said it. I didn't say it. Guys, this character needs a fucking ancient ritual that's centuries, years old in concept. I'm not saying like the Nen itself is directly tied to that, but narratively, that's the gas. Togashi is gassing this piece of shit up to astronomical levels in the current arc. He gets bonus points for his visual manipulation. This character is so nonchalant, but he's also listening. His sexual desires are still there, but he has control and purpose around them. He's not just going bloodlusted after things anymore. He's feeling it out, which is a very disturbing way of thinking about this character. But he's in tune with his emotions and he's feeling out his sexuality. I'm going to say that carefully, but he literally is. This character narratively could not be more relevant because Crollo basically said, fuck everything else. This guy, fuck the whole succession war. This guy. And even more so, fuck the treasures for their monetary value. I'm using them to take this guy down with me in a suicidal pact. What the fuck are we talking about? Guys, the narrative weight on this character is absurd. Has he been in floor one? The theory was that he was Verlente, that really tall guard. He could be going back and forth. He's already up in the casino lounge on that main ship. So has Hisoka been in the story this whole time in the background as different characters? Very possible. Has he been learning about the Nenbeasts and the Succession War and all of the things going on? Absolutely. Has he been aware of Karapika and all the involvement there, knowing that Crollo and the Spider are hunting him? Absolutely. Could he be working with the mob and, as I mentioned before, on Yor and all of those things? Of course he can. This character could be set up so powerfully with all of the ins and outs and the resources and the ability to hide who he is. And Bungee Gum. Bungee Gum in this confined space is absurdly broken. Absurdly broken. He traps you in place. What are you going to do? You're walking down a hallway. I mean, those hallways, like literally, this guy is absurd. It's like, come on, guy. Like, remember who this is. The first major villain of the story. Remember that. And Togashi doesn't disrespect his villains. He treats them very well, for the most part. They have a real, most of the time, the vintage villains he's introduced have a major impact. All of them. The top five here, Crollo, Illumi, Hisoka, they've always been in the conversation around the trifecta. Always, always, always. The three factors. But the arc here, I'm ordering them a little bit in this way due to plot and situation, more so than just raw power and talent. If that makes sense. I need a fucking nation. Like that was the gas that he was given. So indoors, closed in, changes appearance, has intel about everything. He's just walking around. He can change his appearance. He's being tracked by Banalanov, but hey, Banalanov, what's that behind you? Like, we don't, like, the moment this guy gives a shit, I'm terrified for whoever's around him. I'm very, very nervous. The Pact of Karapika, continuing that trend. The fact that he could be working for the mob. He could have ins with other factors. Is he working with Morena? This is a crazy character in this arc. A crazy plot device. The potential is outrageous. He's number 2. I'm going to take a quick break. You guys know who number 1 is. But I'll take a quick break. I'm going to open chat, and I will be back in just a couple minutes. All right. All right. Number one. We're back. You guys know who number one is. I don't have to really mention it. You know. There he is. Come on, guys. You know he's number one. Come on. Guys, chapter 401 blew my mind. This man has orchestrated a fucking revolution from the shadows. Or it's a pact between him and Nasubi to help Kakin become that next great nation. This is a national uprising. I'm just talking about the politics here. This guy is in. Everything is intentional. He's the entire reason for this arc even starting. And yet, he did this. He's been breeding his own children in the family. He's cursing them, putting them in, taking people out from the shadows, from the inside. He's been doing this in, either it's in spite of Nasubi, or there's a whole endgame to all of this. He's cursing his infants. He's aware of their entire history. He knows Kakin's history inside and out. He knows everything, clearly. His confidence, the fuck are we talking? Like, he has a Nen restriction chain. Who gives a shit? He doesn't care. He's the inheritor of Netaro's malice. Let that sink in for a fucking second. This man is the inheritor of his father's entire plot point of malice. This is what Netero talked about. You don't know the potential of humanity's cruelty. Well, here he is. Here's this fucking piece of shit right here. Here he is. Oh, and by the way, he's a Netero. Oh, and by the way, he went to the Dark Continent with me. Oh, by the way, I didn't let him go because I didn't want that shit to fly. This character is going to run with the story. Once he gets out, I'm 90% sure he's getting out. Once he gets out, you pat people away. Like, can he activate the remote curses himself? Can he like transform his children? There's something about his power where it's like he can activate the things he curses. There's something almost like, you know, like in RPG games, like a summoner or a necromancer, like they can control their subjects, like a curse manipulation sort of thing. This guy might be able to like activate power on like hundreds of targets, like unleash someone's inner malice and potential. There is something so horrific here brooding under the surface. Politically, this character has done such unbelievable planning. He illegally, immorally had his own children secretly. He's implanted them into this succession ceremony. Politically, again, taking advantage. Seiyu in the internal plot, the Hunter Association has a faction loyal to him. Pariston, I mean, whatever the fuck, man. I think he just wants to play with his little ants. And Gyro, to me, is more of a Pariston catalyst. But this character is inheriting the world. The world! Not just the arc. He is the factor of humanity. Humanity is on this man's shoulders. Will he destroy it? Will he weaponize it to do some horrible things? Is he just going to be a revolutionary and end the war? Is he going to absorb all of the Nen from all of the Nen of the succession wars and become a calamity himself? Is Beyond Netero's goal to inherit all of Kakin's will, aura, and potential as his own and truly become Beyond Humanity? Beyond Humanity, that's a fucking great name, isn't it? Beyond Humanity. This guy could become a calamity level threat if he inherits all of Cockeen's aura. The tree of Cockeen could symbolically represent a being who inherits all of Cockeen's ceremonial aura. The whole, like cursing your infant children, putting them in the war, like all this stuff it's unparalleled in terms of how much he's done and moved this plot. Could he have a child like Saridnik being his child and the two of them work together? Holy shit. The plot goes to unbelievable levels when you start really diving into what this guy has done, putting his hand into everything, literally. You see, he's my channel avatar because he is the factor of humanity at this point. Nothing is more terrifying in the story right now than this calamity of a creature. In terms of all the characters that exist in the story, he is the strongest right now. In my theoretical list, outside of even this arc, he is number one in the void, the general consensus of Hunter x Hunter. So he's strongest there. He's strongest in the current arc. He set up all the pawns. He knows all of the strategies and intentions of the Cockeen ceremony. Could he be working for Nasubi or against him? It seems to be more against, but we don't know for sure. He uses cursing then, very powerful in this arc. He's politically savvy because he got in and had children secretly and implanted himself in the society and has an internal plot from the Hunter Association. This is a character you can't deny. He's that guy. He is number one in the current story. He's number one on the boat. We need to see him do something. That's it. I just need to see it. If he activates his remote curse, like this Nen chain allegedly puts him into Zetsu, he can't move from it. Like that's obviously what this Nen chain is. He's in Zetsu here. He's in Zetsu in this chain. He can't do anything against an iron chain, right? But this is a Nen-infused Zetsu-producing chain. But here comes Seiyu. Like, he has followers ready to let him out. They'll help him out. And then he's God. There he goes. Strolling the boat. He could sink the ship. Then we got that whole thing with the floor one's the only floor left. Like, what if Beyond just sinks the fucking black whale itself? Oh, okay, palm thrust. Like, come on. Dude, this character's insane. And that's my list, ladies and gentlemen. I thought about this one for a while. I think there are obviously ways to debate this. You can change this list. You could think about the characters in different orders and potentially add other people here, like other Spider members, of course. But that's what I went with. All right, checking the chat. And yep. Dude, yeah, it's trying to steal from the white. Yeah, Stud Eater. I think you're talking about Crollo there. Dude, Crollo said it himself. I'm ready to like die for this, to be destroyed by this. I'm not. It's not like he's so gung ho about his future. Like that's why he's fourth. I didn't write it. Togashi wrote it. You know. Jay, good to see you, and I hope you're well. Yes, we're all excited. It was time to do this. It was time to list this video because we're like, I feel like we're at the halfway point of hiatus right now, and probably coming back in the fall, please. Summer, fall, please, please. Oh gosh, please. Summer, fall, please. But we'll see. But I think right now with the time jump, this is a good time to present a list like this theoretically, open up some conversation. This is like the longest video I've done in a long, like 2-hour video, but it was worth it. I will have this up on the channel for future dialogue conversation. Please comment your thoughts and ideas. We have hiatus. Wait a minute, it's his birthday? I didn't know that. Are you kidding? It's his birthday. Cheers. Guys, that was completely coincidental. I can't believe that. I didn't know. He's holy shit. Guys, is that my Nen power that I can talk about Hunter x Hunter at the right time? Maybe it's my Nen power. Holy shit. Bro, a king was, yes, a manga legend, a master of fiction was born today. Yes, I agree. See, Togashi is a very thoughtful person. Well, here's the thing, like, let me just give you a parallel. Oda is the hardest working man in the industry. He has some incredible ideas, some incredible world building, some fictional ideas. Due to how he releases his story, he can't go that deep. He has to rely on regularity and tropes and familiarity. Togashi goes, I might use ideas again, but I'm always going to adjust what I do with them. And then he writes it. Guys, I've done fictional writing. It is so hard to do. And do it for a long time and do it well and consistently. It takes time to craft quality. So, and the guy illustrates. So, like, I can't draw. Exactly. The man doesn't do anything without a reason. That is correct. Jay, I can't believe it. Thank you for telling me that. You just made my day. Hey, a little birthday gift to Hunter Nation and to Togashi Sensei to 50 more years of health and happiness. Why not? Let's give him 50 more, right? I go big. 109. Dude, that's so fun. That's so funny. I didn't know that. Well, I got some of you guys here. I'll stay on for about 10 more minutes. What are your thoughts about characters in this arc, in their capabilities? Like, what are your guys' top 5? If you list your top 5, if you have them, I'd love to see some ideas. Please. Who are your top 5 in the current arc and why? I know it's a hard question. I actually thought for this list for a couple of weeks. I started drafting some ideas and coming up with this list here. But even today, I thought about it again. I flipped a couple around actually. I'm pretty happy. Like, I'm happy with where this list is right now. But what are your guys? I want to hear from people. What are your thoughts? Yeah, Sun Eater, I want to put Pariston here. I can't. I don't even know if he's here. I don't know what he's doing. I need to know, see, read, what is Pariston actually doing? Because in this arc, he's a god. He's a god. But fuck it, I can't do it. You know? Like, shit. Oh, and here's another fun one, right? I'll go back to the comments in a second. I do want to hear from you guys. Phaeton beat out Nobunaga. Why is that? Because Phaeton had Pain Packer. Raw power, we saw how easily it gets countered. Nobunaga is very powerful and talented, but he's a one-shot kill expert. What's he going to do if he gets hit? He gets crushed. Phaeton has Pain Packer. There's an extra tool in his belt beyond just raw offense and aggression. So I can't help but side more with Phaeton over Nobunaga. I can't help but side more with Machi than Nobunaga because of those factors. Because they have utility, information gathering, they can track their targets, the situation, the environment more effectively than Nobunaga can. That's my point. Yeah, the potential is unlimited. Yeah, I agree with you. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and have chat open. Guys, I'd love to hear thoughts and ideas. Anything about the arc, like please. Couple more minutes to see if you guys have anything. But dude, Sun Eater. It's a good question, isn't it? Here's my only okay. I love the idea. I'm gonna talk about it. A virus, the word pain is very vague. What if he has to actually feel physical pain to like a broken bone? You feel that, right? You feel the pain. Pain is something you feel. A virus might just make you sick and uncomfortable, but what levels of pain are we talking about? If he's like choking and vomiting and bleeding and he's about to die, can he even control his nen that well at that point? A broken bone is just sheer pain, but your body is totally functional. A virus like fucks with your brain too. Like I'm asking the interesting question. It's an interesting point. Jay, you put Seri and okay, Lior. I like how you're thinking. I like how you think, Jay. Leorio in the top. That good call, my man. I like that. I did think about Leorio. I personally, I didn't put him in because he's Leorio. Togashi blue balls us all the time with this guy, bro. Like, come on, Togashi. Dude, he came back in the background in the last batch. Not even a close-up, not even a character reveal, not even a, it's me, Leorio, like nothing. Come on, Togashi. But I love that. I love Leorio up there. Great list. Great list. Yeah. No, great points. You think that a virus Sun Eater is going to be a major sun or a lightning storm. It is theorized that he controls different elements from different versions of Pain Pack. He has a fucking lightning storm like Killua? Like, you're getting struck by lightning constant? Like, Jesus. Sun Eater, yeah. Dude. I wish, man. I want to put Leorio. I want him up here. I want him in the story, for God's sake. I want to see him. Togashi, please. For the love of God. He wasn't even shown with the Halkenberg stuff. He pushed the fucking wheelie. He pushed the gurney. He didn't even he wasn't even at the fucking medical station to heal him. Like, he wasn't working on him medically. What the fuck are we doing, Togashi? Come on. Give me something. Oh my God. Dude, talking about this series is an amazing time. I love talking, but I got to do it in bursts. I don't want to lose my love of this series, so I do it very infrequently. But when I do it, I want to go all in and really talk about it. Then I stop thinking about it for several months. Then I come back and think about it. But when I come back to talk about the series, I want to talk about it. Beyond and Halkenberg. Okay. Mad respect. Mad respect. Halkenberg is a force of nature. He is really able to take this plot and throw it forward. He's accelerated everything. What are your guys' opinions on Seridnik? Give me your thoughts on him. I'm just proposing a question. Seridnik specifically. Miranda is awesome. Hey, Rimblock, how you doing? I'm sorry, we just finished. I went through my top 20 most, I would say, capable or effective characters in the Succession War. I just went through it. Here's what I'd suggest you do. Go, when this video is posted, go back and watch it. I go through all of it for over 2 hours of why I posted these characters where I did. I want to hear from people, so please comment on the video. I'll list this in my channel, so I want to hear from people after the fact. We just went through a whole journey. I'm sorry you just missed it, but it's I think it'll be a good view. I'd recommend you go watch it after the fact. Sun Eater, on the Seridnik thing, I'm wondering about what he wants being a prince. He wants to fuck people up. He wants to ensure that his power and his potential are admired by all. The man has like women's skin hanging up. Like, guy, he literally wants people to idolize him. He wants people to look at him and live in his image. He's that he's that messed up. He wants to impose his will on everybody. It's the most deranged, psychotic, horrible thing ever. Rinblock, exactly. You will see where I put Seridnik on this list. He is on the list of the top 20. He is. But I put him in a place that maybe people will think one way or another. But I think your point is very interesting, and I tend to agree. He's the type of character Togashi will blue ball. I've actually thought about something where the Succession War, or like, he might make it to the near ends of the arc, but then, like, well, first of all, he could just get infected by the virus and die. Like, the virus, forget the top 20, TSK-17 is the most powerful narrative idea in the arc right now. There's no hard counter to it, not one. Togashi does this. The virus, the science, the power, frankly, that puts weight onto Beppa. I will give credit where it's due. But I think TSK-17 narratively is the most powerful thing in the arc. Oh, yeah. Seridnik and Ahsoka, that has been a dynamic that people have wanted for a long time. Beat the shit out of Salka. Poor Salka. What'd he do? He's sweating balls 24/7, bro. Oh my God. Dude, Seridnik is going to flash his aura and it'll pull a Nov. Like, everyone's gonna be like, Nov. Oh my God. Oh, what is this Nen? They turn bald. And he's gonna make everyone go bald. That's right, Rimblock. That's correct. Science and tech is the most powerful force. It's about what humans are capable of. And that is the theme going forward. Malice and destruction through the desire of humanity is the most dangerous thing, not Nen power. Nen power is dangerous. Calamities are supernatural. They're environmental, destructive phenoms of the world. Okay, I'll stop right there. I'm going to actually mention something. Since I have screen time and I have an audience, thank you guys. I want to talk about something very quickly. What is the greater world like? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about lore right now. Put this one in your notebooks. The Hunter x Hunter world we know is vast. We know it's dangerous. But here's the other thing we know. The humans use blimps. Why don't they use planes? Because there are fucking sky creatures that'll beat the shit out of you if you fly too high. I think there are trees that grow into space. The planet probably has these trees that break off into the atmosphere. And they probably have creatures the size of continents that live on them. And these creatures can, if they see a potential target or prey at a certain altitude, they'll kill it. So the human race has condensed itself into this small area where you fly blimps. I think the greater world is into the atmosphere, into space. You got these giant creatures that can dwarf cities and states and countries even, and they're that big. So the calamities are the 5 worst things for humanity. But in the planet, I have no doubt there are creatures that are the size of continents that could fly around and fucking pick off any little thing they see. So this is the writing. Togashi's built a world that big where we could go into space. We could see things that are just, I'm talking about the black whale. You got a creature bigger than Kaki in itself. And you know, just, what are you going to do about that? But like, there's some lore hints that the human race is hiding, intentionally keeping itself small from threats that are much bigger than itself. That's what's so cool about this arc. But let's take it back down to the current arc, and I'll read some more comments here. Humans are a menace. It's correct. First beyond child to die. So, Jay, you're thinking Salkov is going to be a martyr-style character to spicing up the plot. I mean, that's absolutely possible. Also, it would give Theta. Excuse me. Guys, Theta is the weak link to Seridnik. Theta is the character that knows what's going on. So because of that, she has insider information that could compromise Seridnik's secrecy and his ability. The whole point is that the more the Hunter Association knows about Seridnik, the more that tools they have to beat him. It's about getting that information out. So that is what ultimately is going to lead to Theta's involvement in the story. Can she get the word out to Karapika, to someone else, that Seridnik can skip time or rewrite the rules, avoid death? If she told Mizai hey, Seridnik can blink out of existence and avoid death. I saw it firsthand. What do you think they're going to do? Holy fuck. This guy has a counter Nen ability. We can't just fuck with him. So we got to set up ways to deal with him. It requires intel and insight to beat him. And that's what obviously, like if I'm writing a story and I'm talking about Karapika, Karapika is going to learn about that so that he can fight it more effectively, right? That's so the intel that Theta knows, that Sakov knows, that could be what ultimately ends Seridnik's advantage and power and could lead to his demise, right? But that's the fun part about this arc. Is the Earth flat? Sure. Why? I mean, just because, like, frankly, I think no. Because I think Togashi does like to look at reality. There's no planet in our physical existence that's flat. It doesn't work because gravity. Gravity attracts matter around it from all perspectives. Like gravity would basically bend a planet in that was flat. Like the problem is you have a core of a planet, it has to attract matter in a sphere. So I don't think, I mean, could it be it's a fictional story, yeah, but I don't think it's Asgard because Asgard is mythological and godly. It's not. Togashi seems to be grounded in reality in many ways. Like he drew the Earth in different shapes, same continents, but I don't think it's a flat world. I don't think that that's it. Yes, rim block. The scale is ridiculous. What Jing hinted at, what Netero described, it's the world is crazy. We have space birds flying around, like biggest planets. Why not? The Hunter x Hunter solar system could be planets bigger than Jupiter. Like right now, the Hunter x Hunter world is looking to be like more like a Saturn in scale, or like a like a Uranus, like a planet that big. It's not an Earth. It's more like a planet like that. So the Earth itself is very, very vast and open ended. A lot could happen. Correct, Jay. Planning is winning. Togashi loves planning, plotting, scientific analysis. One of his chapters was called Hypothesis in this arc. Yeah, the guy loves talking about academia and academic theory. So he's like, hey, the character's going to write a thesis on what the net ability is, and there's 5 ways it could happen. So I'm going to start ruling out each one about how likely it is that one of the 5 options actually happens. It's a thesis. The guy thinks like a fucking college professor. Totally. I mean, Jupiter. Well, you'll be fucking hilarious. Is if it is a Jupiter-style planet, then we have the nodes to Jupiter, like Banalanov's ability. But it's like Banalanov and Phaeton reference things in our reality. Like Jupiter is. It looks like Jupiter. So is Jupiter in the Hunter x Hunter verse? Has anyone ever asked that question, by the way? I'm going to post that one right now that we're talking about it. Togashi's awesome, man. Like, Rimblock, yeah, Beyond is Beyond is the setup master. Guy has planned everything 10 ways back and forth. He literally had children to plan for this. I mean, the guy became a dad so that he could be ready. Come on, stop it. This guy is absurd. Jay. Yeah. Yeah, if we get giant sea beasts like in One Piece, yeah, sure. I've actually thought about that before. Uh, so it's absolutely a possibility. Um, I mean, you want to start opening up ideas of the foreign world and the dark continent and all the beasts, do it now in the waters. But we have to do that once we're ready to sink the boat. So I have thought, by the way, guys, this isn't really a shocking theory, but the theory is that the main floor 1 boat will live on after the black whale sinks, right? There is this whole thing about this becoming like a survival arc, right? And so first of all, you have the plot line of the first floor You have all of the succession war factors at play. Then the black whale sinks. Let's say that the main boat even has a leak or something, or it's like now we have an arc where the entire remaining humanity on that boat has to survive the open waters. You got Karapika saying, here's the lifeboat, here's and then you have a Titanic plot where the characters all have to realize, fuck the politics, we got to survive the open. We have to complete the voyage to even make anything out of this, and it upends everything. What if all the characters have to work together to survive a possible sinking ship? Talk about Togashi being Togashi. That is literally a Togashi moment. What if, and by the way, this is another thing. We saw little islands, right? In one of the chapters. Random islands. What if there's a shipwreck arc? We get stranded on this random island, not the new continent. No, they get stranded on a random island. Castaway style. And they're fucking building coconut huts and shit, and they gotta find food. Dude, I mean, bro, this could easily end up where we are. Then you have bro, the treasures, they sink to the bottom of the ocean. I'm just saying, what happens if the boat sinks? Can you escape you can't escape, wait a minute, you can't escape the boat unless you deactivate the war. So if the boat is sinking, you have to deactivate the war so that you can survive. There we go. There we go. There's how you get out of the war. Sink the boat, you got to stop the ceremony. The only way is to access the treasures and stop the ceremony, however they do it. But then everybody has to work together to survive. It's a Togashi classic. Grimlock, the black whale is humongous. The black whale is massive. But we're talking about open water with the scale of the dark continent puts the human continents in a pond, basically, like a lake. The creatures in the open ocean are probably as big as continents themselves. What I was alluding to is the scale of this world is crazy strong. We are literally taking let me put it this way. It takes 2 months by boat to get to a new continent within a lake on this planet. So the creatures in this world are freshwater or lake creatures. It could be saltwater, because there could be inlets that bring in salt water from the actual oceans of this world, but the lake creatures of this world are like humongous. We don't know. They could be behemoths underwater, giant squid that are as big as the black whale. We don't know. But humanity doesn't go out here all that often, and clearly there's a reason why. Then you have the Dark Continent panel, where you have creatures bigger than mountains eating other creatures that are as big as mountains. And then those creatures are being eaten by another creature that's like the size of a whole mountain range, and it's eating that creature. That's like the standard scale of life on the Dark Continent. So the water creatures, in biology, water creatures are always bigger. Always. The biggest mammal, the biggest animals of all time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the blue whale. You had some dinosaurs that were really big, but then you had the underwater dinosaur that was massive, right? So that creature, take Togashi's realism and practicality, the sea creatures must be ridiculous. But again, we will see. Guys, I have gone on for a long time. I will call it a day here, but this was a lot of fun. And this list was a long time coming. I know some of you joined late. I would recommend you go back and watch the video. Leave comments. The video will be up. I want to hear from you. Watch it through. Talk about the arc. Talk about your favorite characters. Why. Narrative points you think are important. What should we be focusing on as a community? What should we be aware of? I tried today to point to characters that I think have skills, potential, narrative weight that could really influence the plot, or at the very least get through this damn thing and live to see another day, and maybe use politics right to their advantage. So that's where this list came from. Had a good one. And again, I do these very periodically. Do not expect a new video like this for a bit, but I want this to live as a discussion forum. And look, when I come back to talk about the series, I really want to talk about it. So I'll let this one simmer for a bit. I'll be back in the future. I'll find a time to do another more in-depth conversation. And hopefully we hear about the series this summer. I'm guessing that June, July. Whoa, before we go, everybody, the VIP is here. Our boy, Abeck, were you here before, or are you just saying it? There's the answer. You guys know Abeck. You've known him from our videos. He's been here before. The dude is a part of Hunter Nation. He's my good friend, and when we do get the chance, we like to react to it. It's been a ride. We've been 10 years, man. 10 fucking years. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I hope everyone's well and you're doing well. And this was a quick break from life. Life has been a little bit messed up lately. There's a lot going on in the world. So I try, when I find a moment to not be talking about life, talking about something fun like this, it's always a good time, right? Yeah, OG, that's right. Funny thing, I'll tell a little story for fun. The first video my boy was on, he didn't know he was being recorded. I did it secretly. I didn't tell him about the reaction series until after that. And then he's like, oh, shit, I want to do it. But understand that, like, I didn't know how we would react. I didn't know what the chapter was. And it was like, this was 357. And it was the chapter that broke our minds. Ahsoka doing what he did. It was ridiculous. And of course, I picked a candid moment. There was no planning for that at all. And anytime we react to the series, I go in completely blind. I don't look at spoilers. I avoid Reddit. I don't look at videos, nothing. I want to go in completely blind and know absolutely nothing. So I do my best to not be spoiled. So you get the most raw, guttural emotion and reaction that I can provide. And my buddy too, like, we try not to get spoiled from the community or other things, right? So, brother, I just went through like 2 hours of talking about the top 20 characters in this arc. I went through a lot. It was a really good ride, and leave comments. Like, I want this to be an open forum for fans of the series. So let's make this a place to discuss and chat. Bring your ideas, and it's. I do this once in a while. Once I have the energy and the motivation, I don't want to get tired of the series. So I can't do this all the time. This also, to me, feels like our halfway point to hiatus. So this felt like a good time to do it so that we can maybe hold ourselves over until they announce the return. Oh, please. Please come back. Announce it this summer. Announce it this summer, please. Yo, brother, no worries, bro. I hope it's just entertaining whenever you want to check it out. There's no rush. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to call it a stream there. Thank you all for stopping by. Leave your comments. And hopefully we return to weekly releases this summer. Be well, be safe, be happy. I will see you guys in the future. Stick around this summer. I'll come back at some point, generally. Thanks again. Take care.